Section number 1 of the Junior Classics, Volume 9, Stories of Today. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. Brother Rabbit's Cradle by Joel Chandler Harris. "I wish you'd tell me what you tote a handkercher for," remarked Uncle Remus, after he had reflected over the matter a little while. "Why, to keep my mouth clean," answered the little boy. Uncle Remus looked at the lad and shook his head doubtfully. "Aha!" he exclaimed. "You can't fool folks when dees git is all ease what I is. I been watching you now mo' days dan I kin count, and I ain't never see you mouth dirty 'nuff fur to be wiped wid a handkerchy. It all's clean, too clean for to suit me. Dar's ya pa, now, when he was a little chap like you, his mouth useter get dirty in de morning, and stay dirty plumb 'twel night. Dey wa'n't scarcely a day dat he didn't look like he been playin' wid de pigs in de stable lot. Ef yer never is tote a hanker, he ain't never show it to me." "He carries one now," remarked the little boy, with something like a triumphant look on his face. "To be sho'," said Uncle Remus. "To be sho' he do. He starter totin' one when he tuck a motion fur to go a courtin'. It had his name in one corner, and he useter sprinkle it with stuff out of a pepper sauce bottle. It sho' was rank, dat stuff was. It smell so sweet it make you forgit where you live at. I take notice dat you ain't got none on yarn." "No, mother says that cologne or any kind of perfumy on your handkerchief makes you common." Uncle Remus leaned his head back, closed his eyes, and permitted a heart-rending groan to issue from his lips. The little boy showed enough anxiety to ask him what the matter was. "Nothing much, honey. I was des trying fur to count how many different kinder people dey is in dis big world, and 'fo' I got mo' dan half done wid my courtin', a pain struck me in my misery, and I had to break off." "I know what you mean," said the child. "You think mother is queer. Grandmother thinks so too." "How come you be so wise, honey?" Uncle Remus inquired, opening his eyes wide with astonishment. "I knew by the way you talk, and by the way grandmother looks sometimes," answered the little boy. Uncle Remus said nothing for some time. When he did speak, it was to lead the little boy to believe that he had been all the time engaged in thinking about something else. "Talking dirty folks," he said. "You oughter seed your pa when he was a little bit chap. Dey was long days when you couldn't tell ef he was black or white. He was dat dirty. He'd come out'n de big house in de morning, as clean as a new pin, and 'fo 10 o'clock you couldn't tell what kinder cloth his clothes was made out'n. Many de day when I've seed old Miss, that's your great-grandmammy, come 'nuff trash out of his head for to fill a basket. The little boy laughed at the picture that Uncle Remus drew of his father. "He's very clean now," said the lad loyally. "Maybe he is and maybe he ain't," remarked Uncle Remus, suggesting a doubt. "That's neither here nor there. Is he any better off clean than he was when you couldn't put your hand on him without having ter go and wash 'em? Yo' grandmammy used to call 'im a pig, and clean is he may be now, I take notice that he makes mo' complaint headache and de heartburn than what he done when he was runnin' round here half naked and full mud. I hear tell that some nights he can't git no sleep, but when he was little like you, no, sah, I'll not say dat, because he was bigger than what you is fum to time he kin toddle round without nobody he pin him, but when he was all ease you, and twice as big, dey ain't nary night that he can't sleep, and not only all night, but half the day ef dey'd let him. Ef dey'd let you run round here like he done, and git dirty, you'd git big and strong, for you know it. Dey ain't nothing mo' wholesomer than a peck two clean dirt on a little chap like you." There is no telling what comment the child would have made on this sincere tribute to clean dirt, for his attention was suddenly attracted to something that was gradually taking shape in the hands of Uncle Remus. At first it seemed to be hardly worthy of notice, for it had been only a thin piece of board. But now the one piece had become four pieces, two long and two short, and under the deft manipulations of Uncle Remus it soon assumed a box-like shape. The old man had reached the point in his work where silence was necessary to enable him to do it full justice. As he fitted the thin boards together, a whistling sound issued from his lips, as though he were letting off steam, but the singular noise was due to the fact that he was completely absorbed in his work. He continued to fit and trim, and trim and fit, until finally the little boy could no longer restrain his curiosity. "Uncle Remus, what are you making?" he asked plaintively. "Larrows fur to kitch middlers," was the prompt and blunt reply. "Well, what are larrows to catch meddlers?" the child insisted. "Nothing much and sump mo', Dicky. Dicky kilt a chickie and fried it quickly in de oven like a sloven. Den ter his daddy Sunday hat, he tuck and hitched de old black cat. Now, what you reckon make him do dat? Ef you can't tell me, word for word and spelling for spellin', we'll go out and come in and take a walk." He rose, grunting as he did so, thus paying an unintentional tribute to the efficacy of age as the partner of rheumatic aches and stiff joints. "You hear me gruntin'," he remarked. "Well, that's because I ain't de chickie fried by Dicky, which he et 'nough fur ter make 'm sicky." As he went out the child took his hand, and went trotting along by his side, thus affording an interesting study for those who concern themselves with the extremes of life. Hand in hand the two went out into the fields, and thence into the great woods, where Uncle Remus After searching about for some time, carefully deposited his oblong box, remarking, "If I don't make no mistakes, dis ain't so mighty fur fum de place where de creatures has der playground, and dey ain't no telling but what one 'un creep in dar when dey're playing hiding, and if he do, he'll sure be our meat." "Oh, it's a trap!" exclaimed the little boy, his face lighting up with enthusiasm. "And dey wa'n't nobody here fur to tell you," Uncle Remus declared, astonishment in his tone. "Well, if dat don't bang my time, I ain't no free nigger. Now, if dat had a been ya pa at the same age, I'd a had tell 40 times, and then he wouldn't a to believed me twell he see somethin' in Darton for to get out. Then he'd say it was a trap, but not before. I ain't blamin' 'im," Uncle Remus went on, "'cause 'tain't every chap dat kin tell a trap time he see it, and more den that, traps don't allers sketch what dey er sought fur." He paused, looking all around and up in the sky, where fleecy clouds were floating lazily along, and in the tops of the trees, where the foliage was swaying gently in the breeze. Then he looked at the little boy. "If I ain't gone and got lost," he said, "we ain't so mightily fur from de place whar Mr. Man once 'pon a time, not your time, nit yit my time, but some time, tuck and sought a trap for Brer Rabbit. In dem days dey hadn't learnt how ter be carpenters, and dish yer trap what I'm tellin' you 'bout was a great contraption. Big as Brer Rabbit was, it was lots too big for him." Now, whiles Mr. Man was fixing up this trap, Mr. Rabbit wa'n't so mighty fur off. He hear de saw, rash, rash, hear de hammer, bang, 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 and he ask hiss for what all dis racket was 'bout. He see Mr. Man come out in his yard, toting somethin', and he got furder off. He see Mr. Man comin' to'ds the bushes, and he tuck ter the woods. He see 'em comin' to'ds the woods, and he tuck ter the bushes. Mr. Man tote the trap so fur and no further. He put it down, he did, and Brer Rabbit watch 'm. He put in de bait, and Brer Rabbit watch 'm. He fix de trigger, and still Brer Rabbit watch 'm. Mr. Man look at de trap, and it satisfy him. He look at it and laugh, and when he do dat, Brer Rabbit wunk one eye, and wiggle his mustache, and chaw his cud. And dat ain't all he do, needer. He sot out in de bushes, he did, and study how to git some game in de trap. He study so hard, and he got so irritated, that he thumped his behind foot on the ground, twell it sound like a cow dancing out dar in the bushes. But 'twain' no cow, ner yit no calf. 'Twas de Brer Rabbit studyin'. Atter so long a time he put out down de road to'ds dat part de country where moster the creatures live. Every time he hear a fuss, he dodge in the bushes, 'cause he wanter see who comin'. He keep on and he keep on, and blimey he hear Brer Wolf trotting down the road. It so happened that Brer Wolf was the very one what Brer Rabbit wanted to see. Dey was perlite ter one aner, but dey wasn't no friendly feeling twixt 'em. Well, here come old Brer Wolf, hungrier dan a chicken hawk on a frosty mornin', and e's come up. He see Brer Rabbit set by de side er de road, looking like he done lose all his fambly and his friends ter boot. Dey pass de time er day, and den Brer Wolf kinder grin and say, "Laws a massy, Brer Rabbit, what ail you? You look like you done a spell en fever and ague. What de trouble?" "Trouble, Brer Wolf? You ain't never see no trouble twell you git what I'm at. Maybe you wouldn't mind it like I does, 'cause I ain't usin' ter it. But I boun' you done seed me like-minded fer de last time. I'm done. I'm plumb wo' out," says Brer Rabbit. "Sees." Dis make Brer Wolf open his eyes wide. He say, "Dis de fust time I ever hear you talk dat a way, Brer Rabbit. Take yo' time and tell me 'bout it. I ain't had my breakfus yet, but dat don't make no difference. Long as you're in trouble, I'll help put you out of I kind, and mo' dan dat, I'll put some heart in de work." When he said dis, he grin and show his tushes, and Brer Rabbit kinder edge way from him. He say, "Tell me de trouble, Brer Rabbit, and I'll do my level best for ter help you out." Wid dat, Brer Rabbit 'low dat Mr. Man done been had 'em hired for ter take keer er his truck path, and kept out de minks, de mush rats, and de weasels. He say dat he done so well setting up night after night, when he de might 'z well be in bed, dat Mr. Man promise 'em somp'n extry 'sides de mess or greens what he gun 'em every day. Atter so long a time, he say, Mr. Man 'low dat he gwinter make 'em a present of a cradle, so dat he can rock de little rabs to sleep when dey cry. So said, so done, he say. Mr. Man made de cradle and tell Brer Rabbit he can take it home wid him. He start out with it, he say, but it got so heavy he hadder set it down in de woods, and dat's de reason why Brer Wolf seed 'im sitting down by de side der road, looking like he in deep trouble. Brer Wolf sat down, he did, and study, and Brimbree he say he'd like mighty well fur to have a cradle for his children. Long ers cradles was de style. Brer Rabbit say des been de style fur de longest, and ez for Brer Wolf wanting one, he say he can have de one what Mr. Man made for him, 'cause it's lots too big for his children. "You know how folks is," says Brer Rabbit. "Sees Dey try to do what dey dunner how ter do, and dar's der house bigger than a barn, and dar's the fence wid mo' holes in it than what dey is insane. And 'cause dey have great big children, dey got the idea that every cradle what dey make must fit their own children. And that's how came I can't tote the cradle what Mr. Man made for me more dan 10 steps at a time. Brer Wolf, Brer Rabbit, what he gwinter for a cradle, and Brer Rabbit, lo he can manage for to git long wid the old one, twel he can swade Mr. Man to make 'im one, and he don't spec that be so mighty hard to do. Brer Wolf can't help but believe there's some trick in it, and he say he ain't see the old cradle when last he was at Brer Rabbit house. Wid dat, Brer Rabbit bust out laughing. He say, "Dat's been so long back, Brer Wolf, that I done forget all 'bout it. 'Sides dat, ef def was a cradle dar, I bound you my old woman got better sense than ter set the cradle in the parlor. Whar me comes," and he laugh so loud and long that he make Brer Wolf right shame er himself. He low, ole Brer Wolf did, "Come on, Brer Rabbit, and show me where the cradle is. If it's too big for your children, it does 'bout fit mine." And so off they put to where Mr. Man done sot his trap. 'Twain so mighty long 'fore dey got where dey was gwine, and Brer Rabbit say, "Brer Wolf, dar your cradle, and may it do you more good than it ever done me." Brer Wolf walk all round the trap, and look at it like 'twas live. Brer Rabbit thump one of his behind foots on the ground, and Brer Wolf jump like some undone shotgun right at him. Dis make Brer Rabbit laugh twel he can't laugh no more. Brer Wolf he say he kinder nervous 'bout dat time and de year, and de least bit noise 'll make 'im jump. He ask how he gonna get any purchase on the cradle, and Brer Rabbit say he hadder get inside and walk wid it on his back, 'cause dat de way he done. Brer Wolf ax what all dem contraptions on dis inside, and Brer Rabbit spoon dat dey are de rockers, and dey ain't no needs for to be skeered 'em, 'case dey ain't nothing but plain wood. Brer Wolf say he ain't 'zactly skeered, but he done got ter the p'int where he know dat you better look 'fore you jump. Brer Rabbit low dat de day's jumpin' fur to be done, he be one der do it, and he talk like he done fergit what dey come for. Brer Wolf he fool and fumble round, but bimeby he walk in de cradle, sprung de trigger, and dar dey was. Brer Rabbit he holler out, "Come on, Brer Wolf, dey hump yourself, and I'd be with you." But try as he will, and grunt as he may, Brer Wolf can't budge the trap. Bimsy Brer Rabbit got tired er waiting, and he say dat ef Brer Wolf ain't gwinter come on, he's gone home. How low dat a friend what he say gwinter help you, and den go in a cradle and drop off to sleep. Dat's all he wanter know about him, and wid dat he made fur de bushes, and he want a minute too soon, 'cause here come Mr. Man fur to see if his trap had been strung. He look, he did, and, sure enough, it is sprung, and dey was sump in dar too, 'cause he can hear it rustling round and kicking for to get out. Mr. Man look through the crack, and he see Brer Wolf, which he was so skeered twel his eye look right green. Mr. Man say, "Ah, I got you, is I." Brer Wolf say, "Who?" Mr. Man laugh twel he can scarcely talk, and still Brer Wolf say, "Who? Who you think you got?" Mr. Man, lo, I don't think I knows. You're old Brer Rabbit, that's who you is. Brer Wolf say, "Turn me outer here, and I'll show you who I is." Mr. Man laugh fit to kill. He's low, "You netter change ya voice. I know you if I met you in de dark. You're Brer Rabbit, that's who you is." Brer Wolf say, "I ain't not. That's what I'm not." Mr. Man look through de crack again, and he see de short years. He low, "You done cut off your long ears, but still I knows you." "Oh, yes, and you done sharpen your mouth, and you put smut on it, but you can't fool me." Brer Wolf say, "Nobody ain't tryin' to fool you. Look at my fine, long bushy tail." Mr. Man, lo, you done tied an your tail on behind you, but you can't fool me. Oh, no, Brer Rabbit, you can't fool me. Brer Wolf say, "Look at de hair on my back. Do dat look like Brer Rabbit?" Mr. Man, lo, you've done wallered in de red sand, but you can't fool me. Brer Wolf say, "Look at my long black legs. Do dey look like Brer Rabbit?" Mr. Man, lo, you can put an urgent in your legs, and you can smut 'em, but you can't fool me. Brer Wolf say, "Look at my tushes. Does dey look like Brer Rabbit?" Mr. Man, lo, you've done new toofies, but you can't fool me. Brer Wolf say, "Look at my little eyes. Does dey look like Brer Rabbit?" Mr. Man, lo, you can squinch yo' eyeballs, but you can't fool me, Brer Rabbit. Brer Wolf squall out, "I ain't not Brer Rabbit, and you better turn me out er dis place, so I can take hide off, hair off Brer Rabbit." Mr. Man say, "Ef bofy hide and har was off, I know you 'cause 'tain't in you fur to fool me." And it hurt Brer Wolf's feeling so bad for Mr. Man ter sput his word, dat he bust out inter a big boo boo, and dat's all about I know. Did the man really and truly think the brother Wolf was Brother Rabbit? Asked the little boy. "When you pinned me down dat a way," responded Uncle Remus, I believes ter tell you dat. I ain't too certain and show 'bout dat. The tale come down from my great granddaddy's great granddaddy. It come on down ter my daddy, and dis he's gun it to me. Dis dat a way I done gun it ter you. End of section 1. Recording by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC.